Mrs. Werter, would you call the roll?
Okay. Chairman Everett Roy.
Present.
Board members Roland Barrera. I understand he's running a little late, but he will be here. Sylvia Campos. Eric Cantu is absent. Rudy Garza is absent. Paulette Guajardo. Present. Gil Hernandez. Here. Kaylin Paxson is absent. Mike Pesley. Here. Mark Scott. Here. James Sedgwick. Here. And Carolyn Bond is running a little bit late also. Okay, so we do have a quorum present to conduct the meeting.
Okay, would anyone like to make public comment? Mrs. Werter, have you received any public comments?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll go on to the next item. It's our first agenda item. It's a motion approving the 2026 tax increment reinvestment zone, number 3 board meeting calendar.
I probably shouldn't be
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Next, we have a motion to approve a downtown development agreement with the Nueces County for the demolition of a 1914 Nueces County Courthouse for a total incentive amount not to exceed $2 million.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Arlene Medrano, Executive Director of the Downtown Management District. The item before you today is a motion to approve a downtown development agreement with Nueces County for the demolition of the 1914 Nueces County Courthouse for a total incentive amount not to exceed $2 million, effective upon signature by the city manager. I do have a presentation for you today. So since the relocation of the staff nearly 50 years ago, the 1914 courthouse has been vacant after the county has attempted to sell the building on 3 separate occasions for redevelopment. Each attempt has failed, and the cost of renovations are ranging as high as $120 million in order to renovate this 111-year-old building. Currently, the project cost for demolition is ranging from $3.5 million up to $14 million. The estimated completion date for demolition is July 1st of 2027, and the proposed incentive is part of the new TIRZ member agency reimbursement program with a proposed incentive of $2 million. Here's a timeline put together by the Texas Historical Commission during a project that happened in 2018, and I've called out some of the dates highlighting the year that the courthouse was vacated. Each attempt to sell starting in 1978, 1979, 1991. In 2002, the ownership of the courthouse reverted back to the Nueces County. And in 2011, the city of Corpus Christi and Nueces County passed a resolution in support of the demolition of the building. In 2018-19 timeframe, there was a development that almost came to fruition, but the deal did not close, and that was for the La Meridian project. At that time, the TIRZ number 3 board, along with our sales tax economic development board, did approve of $3 million to incentivize this project. Unfortunately, the developer defaulted on the terms of the deal, specifically the closing on the purchase of the property, which then ended the agreement. Since then, there have been no offers of redevelopment for this property. This is the current condition of the 1914 courthouse. This is the interior condition. And I want to point something out. Last time I was here, I said that 1 million vehicles passed this building today. Turns out 23 million vehicles pass this vehicle a year, And so that is a massive amount. That is the number when the Harbor Bridge, our old Harbor Bridge, passed directly in front of or in back of the courthouse. Since that highway is now closed, we have the new Harbor Bridge. It's a bit removed, but still just on that I-37 corridor with a traffic pinpoint at I-37 and Chaparral, that's 9 million vehicles a day that pass this dilapidated structure. At the last meeting, there were questions about the TXDOT demolition of the Old Harbor Bridge and what the ownership of the surrounding land looked like. So we included this map in your packets. You can see sort of the cross shape there is the courthouse. And then you have the legend there that indicates ownership of the land around it. So the land immediately around the courthouse is TXDOT owned, and then the blue highway is public dedication, previous street right-of-way. And so that discussion I know is ongoing with the city and TXDOT. And so as far as what happens to that land after the bridge comes down is yet to be determined. So we put this together for you to imagine the possibilities. What could possibly go on this property after the demolition is complete? Could it be a sports complex? Could it be a hotel? Could it be a grocery store? Could it be green space? And we included a disclaimer there just to say that we have no offers for development at this time, but we want you and the public to imagine what could go there in this very highly trafficked area of our city. With that, I stand by for any questions.
Board Member Scott?
Thank you, sir. I'm going to support this. I wish it was tied to an economic development project because I think the TIRZ generally is supposed to make contributions to economic development projects. But I think there is a community desire to move past this, Mike, and thank you, Commissioner, for championing this, because I think there's a, for the most part, right, there's a preservationist, which is fine, that just want to move past this, and I think there's a community benefit that will be gained by the removal of that building, and I do think it makes it immensely developable, especially with the numbers you've given us, and so I'm hopeful that this leads to significant economic development, revitalization, so I'll be supporting this. Thank you again, Commissioner, for championing this.
Board Member Campos.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to be consistent with what I said before. I don't appreciate being intimidated, pressured, or anything like that, so I will not be supporting this, so that's my reasoning.
Chairman, can I point out, Arlene, I don't know if you pointed it out, but the $2 million would be upon work being executed and invoices being available, and then it'd be a 3-year pay, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So 3 equal payments upon completion of the demolition. It would be paid out over 3 years, $666,667 a year, which does help with the distribution of funds. Yes, sir.
So we want to thank the county for that
Yes,
recommendation.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve.
And I understand we have an amendment.
Board Member Pusley.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to amend what has been submitted here today. Ms. Caleta, if you could read that amendment as well.
Yes, sir. It's Section 2 of the agreement, conditions for reimbursement. Paragraph F would be amended. The proposed amendment is there will not be any reimbursement under this agreement paid to the developer after the expiration of the TIRZ, or in the event the TIRZ renews without developer participation at 100% for the first 5 years. Developer is what we call the county throughout the contract.
Second. Mrs. Werter, did you get everything?
No, sir, we did not. So we're going to need that information. We'll get that from
Okay.
the attorney.
All right.
Can I move to amend? Is that what we need to do? We need to?
No, he just did it,
Okay, okay.
and Mark seconded it.
Okay.
Okay. Board Member Hernandez.
Can you restate that again? And is developer referring to the county?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Okay.
in the agreement at the beginning, developer is how we define the county.
Right. Just want to make
Yes, sir.
clear with the amendment. Thank you.
And this is codifying that they will continue participation after the expiration.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the amendment. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
The motion carries. So now we have to go ahead and pass the amendment.
And Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to approve the item as amended.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. With there being no further business, this meeting's adjourned. If we need to,
Meeting after we've adjourned it for a comment, is that what you're going to do, Mr. Pesley?
at this point, I just keep the meeting.
Okay.